So wanted to first start with asking Carol, and actually I guess Carol's delegating this task, but just to talk about some of the things that are going on that they are working on in the department and some of the things that we want to, and I don't know exactly what we're going to cover here. So I put Carol on the spot and called her last night about 10 after 5 and said, hey, can you help me? So go ahead, Carol.
Sure. So I'll kind of do a little introduction and then I'll hand it to Paula. I think that most of you were, well, Sherry Booth, who was our director of marketing, has moved on and she has left VIP and Zenith. So Paula, who was our marketing manager in Tucson, was promoted into Sherry's spot. So Paula is now our top of mind ninja. I don't know if she wants me to use that word, but I'm going to use it. And, you know, she's also been your marketing rep this whole time. So I know a lot of you are already familiar with her and working with her, but she has stepped into a new role. For Zenith, it's not really going to change that much because she's still your marketing rep. She's still the person you're going to go to for any marketing related questions. However, she has taken on a larger role within the company. And then Dave and myself and Amy met with a PR agency yesterday that Dave has made the decision to hire. One of Dave's priorities was recruiting more loan officers and growth within the company. And we decided really one of the most effective things we could do was do some PR. So we did hire an agency. And Dave, I don't know if you want to talk about those interviews that are going to be going on.
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay.
There's just we're gonna, and I'm not sure how many of you we're gonna, but this is gonna be telephone, 5-minute, maybe
Very brief, yeah.
Very brief interviews, just to talk about your experience here. And this is to help that agency figure out what the messaging ought to be. And so there's a lot of you here. I know that several of you helped me out with the Zenith Elite website interview videos, and they're going to watch those as well, just to get a feel for it. But we're going to put a list together of some people that they're going to reach out to, but we'll let you know when that's going to happen. And again, like 5-10 minutes max. It doesn't sound like it's going to be very exhaustive at all. So, and you're not going to have to come in.
No, it's not a video. It's an over the phone, very simple question and answer. They just want to talk to kind of a wide range of employees, you know, newer employees, older employees, and find out really the pulse of Zenith so that they can build the best possible PR campaign. So I'm going to mute myself and let Paula speak for a minute so you can talk about some of the things you're doing and within your new role.
Yeah, so like Carol said, nothing much has really changed for you guys. The only thing that really has maybe is that if you want to dive more into top of mind, I'm going to be the person that you go to instead of Sherry. So I have a learning curve myself, but I'm learning more about the back end stuff. And I know that most of Zenith's programs with top of mind are set up to be automated. So when and if you're ready to kind of dig into those and learn more about those and what's going out on your behalf, you know, we can set up more meetings. And then if at any time you want to do more customization with top of mind, that's the goal, is to make everything automated and easy to use for you guys. So just another extension of what I do.
Awesome. Something else that came up yesterday as we were talking, Chris Hauber was here, and I've talked to some of you, and we're going to talk a little bit more today about some video training that I'm going to share on prospecting referral partners. But what's difficult to track in our system, the way that we're doing it today, it's always been kind of tricky to track, is past client refis versus when we get a repeat customer or when we get a referral from a past client, and how we do all of that stuff. The reason, the more I'm thinking about this marketing and some of the things that we do, it would be really nice to know, and Chris and I were talking about this yesterday, wouldn't it be nice to know how many of your how much past client refinance business as a percentage of your business you get, and then compare it to what other people are getting, so that you had an idea of, is that a blind spot for you? What can we do to increase the amount of client referrals? So at 10 o'clock today, I'm doing another Dave Savage, new loan officer. I'm a panelist on a call with him. And he sent me a bunch of things that he wants me to watch beforehand. And there was a little blurb, and I don't know who's seen this video, Jeremy Forcier talking about something that I've never heard before, but I absolutely want to incorporate this, is that he tracks two things with past client referrals. He counts something called CCRs, current client referrals. So who does he get a referral from while they're in process? So from the time they're like a lead to closing, do they get a referral from them? Like, what a cool thing to track and start to measure, like how much current client business am I getting because I'm asking for referrals during the transaction? And then PCRs, past client referrals, tracking that, as opposed, and then, you know, repeat clients. And so I already reached out to Dina. We have a report that we can run that shows, you know, who's done more than one loan with you. That doesn't really tell the whole story. The story would be in a given period of time, like last month, and then maybe my thinking just off the top of my head, last month business, what are the percentages of all your transactions? Where do they come from? And then maybe a trailing 12-month average. And then how do you stack rank, you know, comparatively? Because if there's a loan officer here that's getting, you know, 50% of his referrals in a given month came from current clients, God, what are you saying? Like, what are you doing? And how can we all incorporate that? So, so we started that conversation yesterday because it's just an idea of how can we get better and how can we make it easier? Because in this little 5-minute video Fortier did, just like 50% conversion rate on past client or current client referrals. It's his highest conversion rate. So when you get a lead from a current client, you convert 50% of those leads. That's amazing, because I think, you know, we've historically been somewhere in the 30 to 40% range, 40% on a good refinance year where we're converting 40% of our leads into closed deals. Man, if you could get to 50% and just those deals are so much easier when they're client referrals, right? So just want to dig a little bit deeper and figure out what we can do to work on that. So we started that conversation with Dina yesterday. Currently, we just don't have the ability to extract that kind of data. Maybe we're going to have to come up with a different way of calling what a client is, identifying the source of an opportunity as opposed to the source of an account. So, so I'm excited about that. So thanks for the marketing people. Thanks for coming. Is there anything else you guys wanted to add, or covered pretty much what you wanted to cover?
Probably unmute yourself real quick.
The only other thing I wanted to talk about maybe a little bit was the app. I know that we haven't had a lot. I don't think we have a whole lot of usage with people on using the new app, the Zenith app that's been developed. And I don't know, I guess I don't know what kind of results the users that are using it are getting. Have you guys, is that kind of, do you have any of that information? We're not going to demo it today, but we're going to schedule a time here in the future to do something.
I don't have specific like data or stats on, you know, people that are using it and the success they're having. I do know, especially on the VIP side, we have a lot of people using it. And as Dave and I discussed yesterday, there's a servicing component to it that is going to make it even more important that you tell your borrowers about it. Currently, the servicing letter, that final letter that lets the client know, you know, where their loan was sold to, where to make their first payment, is a manual process. It's printed out, it's stuffed in an envelope. That whole process is being moved to the app. So a borrower can now go into the app and find out exactly where to make their first payment. Obviously, they can still pick up the phone and call you as the loan officer, but the goal is to drive them to the app. So Dave, if you want us to set up some Zenith specific trainings, just say the word, and Travis, who's our technical marketing manager.
Like I think we could do what we could do is set up maybe for one of these calls, we'll just do a full demo of what all the things that it is, and then we can decide, are we going to go into this or not? And it sounds like it sounds like we need tool.
And I will say, Dave, because I've sat in on a couple of these demos, I would allow at least 45 minutes because there's a loan officer view, there's a borrower view, and there's a realtor view. So Travis likes to go through each of those. So it should be about 45 minutes.
Okay. All right. We'll get that planned here before the end of the year for sure.
And
just really quick for that app, when we're sending out the servicing documentation, is there a way that post-closing that we can embed a link to that app in an email so that if they haven't downloaded it through the process, we can say, hey, you're going to get your.
Yeah, and that's actually a really good question, Casey, because Paula was just about to speak to that.
Okay.
So I just wanted to mention that there's already 3 emails that are going out to your clients, prompting them to download the app. So that part is kind of being taken care of on the back end for you guys through Top of Mind already. they do not know about the servicing. We don't have any automated email that's going out telling them that the servicing is going to be available in the app. So maybe that can be, until we figure that part out, it can be part of your conversations with your clients, but do know that they are getting, I believe it's with the appraisal, with the loan application, and then with one other time in the loan process, they are getting an email prompting them to download the app to follow their loan. It's just another way of communication. I'm aware that you guys do use Flowify and that they're getting updates with their loan through that as well, but the app is just another avenue. And then specifically for that servicing component at the end, that's the important piece of it.
Cool. Thank you. All right, so let me talk about something else in the email. And thanks again to you guys for coming out. I appreciate it. So I'm going to send everybody, it's a Word document, and there's a link to a website. So I'm in the Tim Brahim's Performance Experts Coaching Program this year, and I had to do a whole bunch of homework. I'm going on a 1-week coaching retreat, and it's in Costa Rica. So it's in November, but I had a bunch of homework that I had to watch, all these videos, like several hours of videos that I had to watch, just different training and things like that. And one I'm going to send you. And I first of all, I made sure I had permission to share this. And since I'm paying for it, since I'm paying for the coaching, I'm able to share it with you guys. So there's going to be, you're going to get my username and password to this website. It's Tim Brahim's coaching platform, and it's a referral partner training program. And it's a series of about, I want to say it's about a dozen videos, anywhere from 10 to 25 minutes long. And it's going to walk you through just an incredibly, and this isn't like the first time that I've seen some of this stuff. I just haven't seen it in a really long time. And I know that there's some great takeaway information here about how to develop relationships with referral partners that will just really do a great job of supplementing what you've already been taught. In addition, it's just what I'm really impressed with, and what really made me is like, I really want to be able to share this. I hope they let me share this with everybody. Otherwise, I got to figure out a way to copy all this. And so they said I could share it, is developing relationships with alternate referral partners. So CPAs, tax attorneys, estate planners, financial advisors, insurance salespeople. And he goes through how to set these relationships up and what you're going to do with them. And what was really kind of one of the unique takeaways that I got from all of this is that, we primarily have always focused on real estate agent referral partners, which is where all of your competition focuses, right? Like real estate agents get called consistently to do business with people. And Tim describes a system here where, you don't need, if you do this right, you don't need a lot of real estate agents. What you need is several people in that circle of influence that you can refer and that can refer business to you. And then it ties right into some of the stuff that we're talking about here with past client referrals, current client referrals, and some of the things that we're talking about as far as making sure that we're consistent with annual financial reviews with our past clients. So I'm going to send it out after the call today. You're just going to have to schedule time when you see it. It's a couple, there's probably 3 hours worth of video that you're going to want to watch, but you're going to want to watch it over a period of time. I wouldn't sit down and just try to bang through it all because there's a lot to take in. I would like everybody to take lots of notes, right? So while you're watching these videos, take tons of notes so that we can share. We do these calls together. There's so much great learning going on here with the Coffee for Closers that we do. And then these other opportunities that we have to improve this. And I'm just really excited that I get the opportunity to share it with you. And I think you're all going to really love what you're seeing. And you're going to realize that there's my takeaway from it was, man, when I was producing, I really missed out on just having a lot less friction in getting referral partner relationships going just with real estate agents, and instead had a more balanced referral partner network that included all these other financial professionals, so that I had an opportunity to refer business to them, and they could then obviously reciprocate by referring business to me, but referring business to them by being of better service to our clients, right? So when we meet a client who needs a CPA or needs a tax attorney or needs an estate plan. So it's really exciting. I'm excited to be able to share it with you. So that'll be coming out today after the call. And like I said, schedule some time in it. As we get ready to do our business planning for 2021, it's going to be all the things that we're going to want to incorporate into that plan. So I'm really excited about it. And then last, I want to talk about the life planning thing that I sent out last week. If you haven't watched the video, for those of you that, if you weren't on the call, make sure you watch the call from last week, and which now is on the YouTube channel. So I sent out the link to the YouTube channel that we built. I'll send it out again. And so one of the things that I didn't cover on that life planning deal was that this is something that you really, if you're going to do this, then you really want to get the most benefit out of it. You don't want to do it while you're working, right? Like you really need to, I would recommend setting some time aside on the weekend. Now, if you're going to do it during work hours, during business hours, then block some time and get away from the office and go sit somewhere and work on this. Like this, and you know, when I've done these exercises in the past, when I've been in the Master's Coach program, it was one of the things that I always looked forward to in December, because that was the coaching session in December where we would go and meet somewhere. And it was always near a beach or in the mountains or something, and where you just went off by yourself and you just thought, and you just spent a lot of time thinking. It's called a life plan because you're thinking about your life and planning it. And the more time you invest in this, the better the results are going to be for you. And just super enlightening. So I don't think I talked about that. And this isn't something that you want to you really need to block some time in your life to do this. And again, I'll make myself available. I told anybody who wanted to, if they want some insight or some help or some guidance from me, I'm happy to share. You don't have to share your life plan with me. I'm never going to make this exercise mandatory. It's mandatory for me in my life, but so it's because it seems like such a personal thing to make mandatory. I'm not going to do that, but I'm happy to share with anybody. And I'm happy to, if you want to share your life plan with me, I'm more than open to hearing what you've got, what you're thinking about. So, so that's it for today. I don't have anything else that I need to cover. Thanks everybody for your time. Let's have an awesome day and let's go lock some loans. Thanks everyone. Have an awesome day.